Now let us create a project demo. So as part of this project, what we'll do is we'll update the feed of the user on request from Snow. So the direction will be from Snow to Salesforce. This would be the integration direction. Volume would be like few user fields, and the objective of this project would be, like I said, to update few fields in production. So why we need this kind of thing is because only few users are in production are system admin users. So in order to request anything, then we have to depend on that few system admin users to fulfill our request. So why not automate this through ServiceNow? So let us see how to do it. We'll go to our ServiceNow instance. Now we would require few steps to create here. Step 1 is we have to create a catalog. Step 2 is we have to create a catalog item, and we'll need a script to invoke the integration. Fourth item we already implemented is the connected app. So let us visit here in the service now. What I will do is I will type maintain catalogs, so that we'll get an option for new catalog here. So catalog is like a place specific wherein you will have request items specific to that area. For example, now here we have technical catalog, so it might be where we might have a hardware catalog, so wherein let's say a company user can request for any kind of accessories like mouse or keyboard or any IT equipment. Likewise, we can create Salesforce catalog as well. So I have already created as part of this preparation video. Let us create again. So what I will do is I will name user, okay, SF user catalog. Okay, now not specific to user, let us keep generic SF catalog. You can define the manager and all these things here, but I will keep that as a default and keep this as an active. Submit it. Okay, once we have that SL catalog created, now it is time to create catalog items. So click on new under related tab for catalog. Here we have catalog item, and then when we click on new, we'll get a catalog item here. We'll try to reload this page. Okay, then again I have to go to catalog item, mention catalog name. Okay, user field update. Okay, or user alias update. Let us update alias here. Then category, we haven't defined any category, that is why I haven't mentioned anything. The request is to update the alias for user. Okay, short description, long description here maybe, and just save it. Right click on this bar and click save. Okay, now we have catalog items as user alias update. Now it is time to create some variables here. variables would be like user input onto that form of user alias update, question like enter user id. So let us just use user id. Okay, user id is here. Then go to question again. You mention the name user id, and here you can mention anything. Show help, like the help tag. Mention that enter 18-digit id of user, 18 or 15-digit id of the user, SF user. Then type specification, keep all these things as a default. The data type here is mentioned as a single line of text, and then click on submit. Okay, our first variable is created now. Let us head back to catalog item for second, or not, we can scroll down, and we are already on the catalog item page. So let us create another variable named as, that too will have a single line of text, and we'll mention that as a alias. Okay, then click on submit. Okay, we are again back on the catalog item page. So let us click on try it. You'll find that we have created two variables here, user id and alias. Here you should mention the user id and the alias that you want to update, and click on order now. So I'm not going to do that right now, but because there is extra thing that we require now. We are done with service catalog, we have done with catalog item. Now it is time for script to invoke this integration when we submit that catalog item. For the script, we have to use business rules. So we'll go back to business rules, and we have to also use a REST message. So before going to business rules, what I will do is head to the REST message, create update user alias REST message. Okay, now endpoint, we know that there is a REST endpoint to update user. So okay, you can mention Salesforce here. Okay, go to working with records, update a record, and here we go. Okay, here is account, but we can replace that with user. Okay, so I will going to copy this and click here, paste it here, and instead of account we just replace account with user, and instead of user account ID, account ID, we can replace with our user or any user ID. Okay, I'm taking my user ID here and putting it here. Okay, then what we have already an OAuth profile. Use it, demo SF default profile, and click on submit. So update user alias is the REST message that we created, and instead of default get, we are going to replace that with we are going to deactivate this because we do not need it, or we can simply delete this. Okay, because we do not require this, that is why we are deleting this. Instead of get, we would require post. Let us check. Okay. Post, or I think patch would be fine here. Again, you have to take the same endpoint, REST endpoint that you defined here. So before taking this endpoint, can you see that my domain name has not been changed? So let us go and copy this domain name so that it can work properly. Okay, we are done with the domain name. Let us update, and let us just again copy the same endpoint in the HTTP method. The content here, what we have to update, what I'm going to do is post, I know the field name alias, I will add a alias D12345 and hit submit. Okay, so we have a patch method here which will update the user alias, and just the missing part is the content type. So before, I think about the header of the patch method, I need to check whether, okay, I have made a typo mistake. Okay, yeah, now I think I'm correct. Okay, wait. Okay, let us, okay, we have no tokens available right now at the moment. We'll click on get auth token to get token from this profile, and then we head to patch method. Just click on test to check what is happening. Okay, metadata is not supported. application. You can see the typo mistake here as well. Okay, we'll save this, and here in the tip you can see the token is active. Click on test. Okay, so anything with the 2xx series, that means the status, the request is hitting the Salesforce and we are receiving the response. Let us check the alias here. So you can see the alias has been changed. Now what we have to do is, instead of this user ID, what we are going to do is, instead of this user ID, we are going to replace that. We are going to make it dynamic. So you have to put $user ID. Okay, and then update it, and again in the HTTP method, go to the patch method. You have to put, instead of hardcode ID, you have to mention user ID. Go back to patch method, and instead of this hardcode alias, you have to again replace that with the alias. Okay, we are done with replacing the hardcode IDs and the hardcode body. Now it is time to write the business rule. Business rule is a kind of rule when you submit any catalog item or request item. You will, a rule like automation will fire. Like we have flows and triggers inside Salesforce, we have business rules inside ServiceNow. So update user business rule, and table means the table means on which item that you have to run this business rule. So I'm going to run it on request item, and then I will select advanced, then when to run it after, I will keep that async. No, to keep that after is better. After insert. Okay, we have script. Okay, so what we have to do is, now we created form for a user update, and we have two fields, user ID and alias name. Now that we have to, what we have to do is, we have to capture those fields and we grab that fields in the business rules and execute the REST message by setting the parameters for the REST message. So go back to the REST message that we created. Okay, and here you can see auto generate variables. The best thing about ServiceNow is that we do not need to create any script for it. It gives us, like when we click on auto generate variables, it will generate the variables here, and when we click on preview script usage, it will give the script for business rule as well. So it is creating a script now. Okay, here you can see it has created some script. Now copy this script and paste it in the business rule. Okay, and we have to take the parameters. So how do we take the parameters is you have to use the current variables. Okay, so this is the current class variables, and this is the code to get alias or user form variables, we can say. Okay, for alias we need to set alias, and for user ID. Okay, so what is this all about? We are taking the user ID and alias from the form after the request item is created, and we are passing it to business rule, and the business rule is passing the parameters to our patch method of REST message. Save it. One thing we have to check is the variable name. So I've just mentioned alias here. I do not know if the a cap, is it case sensitive? Is this case sensitive? Yes, it is, but I do not know if A is capital here. So what I will do is I will go back to the catalog items by hitting maintain items, or I can go to the catalog itself, under which I can find that. Okay, I have this user alias update. Okay, I need to check the variables here, so I'm going to open it in a separate tab. User ID, for user ID U and I is capital, so I'm going to do the same in business rule as well. U and I is capital, alias A capital for alias, then okay, save it, done. Okay, let us try our form now. Click on try it, and just use the ID of user, Salesforce user, and the alias. Okay, R123. Okay, let us keep R123 and click on order now. Check if that is updated. Yes, you can see. So this is how we created the catalog item, catalog. So on completion of this request, on submission of this request, our user is updated. So you can also enhance this by adding an approval. So once you submit an SR, so once you submit the rhythm here, that is the SR, based on the approval, so once it is approved, then the user is updated. You can also enhance it like this. Our demo is completed, and this is the steps that we have gone through. Like, we created catalog and catalog item, and we created REST message and business rules. So in REST message we created some hardcode IDs and then replaced with user variables. Then the script is generated and used in business rules, and finally we tested that. How do you find this video? Please comment, and please give feedback on this video. It will help me encourage. Also, please like and subscribe this video. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.